The story begins with a king who wants to become a perfect ruler. He believes that if he knows the answers to three important questions, he will never make a mistake. The king's three questions are: what is the right time to begin everything? Who are the most important people to listen to? What is the most important thing to do? The king announces that he will reward anyone who can give him satisfactory answers. Many wise men come to the king and give different answers. Some say that the king should prepare a timetable because every action has its proper time. Others say that the king should listen to advisors, priests, doctors, soldiers, and other important people. For the third question, some say that science, warfare, religion, or other activities are the most important. However, the king is not satisfied with any of these answers. The hermit. The king finally decides to visit a wise hermit who lives alone in the forest. The hermit is known for his wisdom, but he speaks only to ordinary people and does not like kings. The king disguises himself and goes to the hermit's hut. When he arrives, the hermit is digging the ground. The king asks his three questions, but the hermit does not answer. Instead, he continues digging. The king notices that the old man is tired, so he takes the spade and starts digging for him. The king repeatedly asks his questions, but the hermit remains silent. As evening approaches, a wounded man suddenly appears from the forest. His clothes are covered with blood, and he has a serious wound in his stomach. The king immediately helps him. He washes the man's wound, stops the bleeding, and takes care of him. The wounded man eventually falls asleep. The king is exhausted and also falls asleep. The next morning, the king wakes up and discovers that the wounded man is alive. The man asks the king for forgiveness. The king is surprised and asks why he should forgive him. The man explains that he was actually the king's enemy. He had planned to kill the king while he was returning from the hermit's hut. However, the king's guards discovered him, attacked him, and wounded him. Because the king treated his wound and saved his life, the man became grateful and asked for forgiveness. The king forgives him and promises to restore his property. The king again asks the hermit for the answers to his three questions. This time, the hermit explains that the answers have already been demonstrated through the events of the day. First answer: the most important time. The most important time is now, the present moment. The past is gone, and the future has not yet arrived. We have control only over the present. Second answer: the most important person. The most important person is the person who is with you at that moment. When the king was with the hermit was the most important person. When the wounded man arrived, he became the most important person because the king's actions could save his life. Third answer: the most important thing. The most important thing is to do good to the person who is with you. The king saved the wounded man's life instead of ignoring him. As a result, his enemy became his friend. Moral of the story: the story gives us a simple but powerful philosophy. The most important time is now. The most important person is the person you are with. The most important thing is to do good.